September 30th, 1927. Final day of the season. Yankee Stadium. Babe Ruth is one number away. 59 home runs. The greatest record in baseball history waiting to be broken with just one game left. One swing, number 60. Nobody has done this. Nobody has even come close. And standing between Ruth and that number is one man. Tom Zachary, pitcher for the Washington Senators. Yesterday, Zachary gave an interview to the press. Ruth cannot hit a home run off me. I will strike him out. That record will not be broken today. Now it is the 8th inning. Ruth walking to the plate. Zachary looking at him, smiling, confident. But Zachary does not know something. Ruth is angry, truly angry. Because 2 innings ago, Zachary intentionally threw at Ruth's ribs, hit him hard, meant to hurt him, meant to intimidate him. Now, Ruth remembers that pain. And he is going to answer, with one swing. Home run number 60. Revenge has never been sweeter. This is the story of the day a pitcher challenged Babe Ruth, and learned why you never insult the greatest hitter who ever lived. September 29th, 1927. One day before the final game. Babe Ruth sits in the Yankees clubhouse reading the newspaper. Every article about one thing, Ruth's chase for 60 home runs. He is at 59, one away from impossible, one game left. Tomorrow, September 30th. Yankees versus Washington. If Ruth does not hit a home run tomorrow, the season ends at 59, the perfect round number, 60. We'll have to wait another year. Ruth turns the page, sees an interview with Tom Zachary, Washington pitcher. The headline, Zachary, Ruth will not hit. Number 60 off me. Ruth reads carefully. Reporter asked Zachary about facing Ruth, asked if he is worried about giving up the historic home run. Zachary's response confident, arrogant. I am not worried. Babe Ruth has weaknesses like everyone else. I know how to pitch to him, keep the ball away, change speeds. If I execute, Ruth will not touch me. In fact, I guarantee it. Ruth will not hit a home run off me tomorrow. I will strike him out. That record will stay at 59. Ruth reads it twice, folds the newspaper, sets it down, says nothing. But something shifts. Lou Gehrig nearby notices. You okay? Fine. Just reading about tomorrow. Gehrig sees the interview, chuckles. Zachary is asking for trouble. Ruth does not respond, just grabs his equipment, heads to batting practice. But Gehrig can tell. Something changed. Ruth is locked in. Tom Zachary just made a very big mistake. September 30th, 1927. Game day. Final game of season. Yankee Stadium packed. 30,000 fans. Everyone knows what is at stake. Will Ruth hit 60? Ruth arrives early. Normal routine. Stretches, warm-up, mental prep. Does not mention the Zachary interview, just prepares. First inning. Ruth bats third. Crowd erupts. Babe, Babe, Babe. Tom Zachary on mound. Calm, composed. Ruth steps in. Zachary throws. Curveball outside. Ball, fastball high. Ball 2. Count 2-0. Has to throw strike. Fastball outside corner. Ruth swings. Miss, strike. Another fastball. Foul. Count 2-2. Curveball low. Ruth checks swing. Ball 3. Full count. Fastball inside. Ruth swings. Contact. Ground ball second base. Out. First at bat over. No homer. 4th inning. Ruth again. Game scoreless. Zachary still dealing. Ruth steps in. Curveball outside. Ball. Fastball middle. Ruth swings. Hard contact. Ball shoots center field. Rising. Climbing. Crowd jumps. Is this it? Center fielder running back. Warning track. Looks up. Jumps. Catches it at the wall. Out. 6 inches from history. Ruth trots back. No emotion, but inside, calculating. Zachary leaving, pitches up. Next chance, Ruth will adjust. 6th inning. Ruth's third at bat. The game is still scoreless, both pitchers refusing to give in. Tension building, with every pitch. Ruth steps into the box. Zachary looks at him. There is something in Zachary's expression now. Not confidence, something else. Determination. Maybe a hint of frustration. Ruth has hit 2 balls hard. Zachary knows it. First pitch. Fastball inside, very inside. Ruth jerks back. The ball misses him by inches. Brush back pitch. Intentional, sending a message. The crowd boos. The umpire warns Zachary. Zachary shrugs, acts innocent. Just got away from me. But everyone knows. That was on purpose. Ruth steps back into the box, digs in, ready, second pitch, another fastball, inside again. But this time, Zachary does not miss. The ball hits Ruth directly in the ribs, left side, just below the chest. The sound is sickening, a sharp crack. Ruth goes down, drops to one knee. His bat falls from his hands. He clutches his side, wincing, in real pain. The crowd gasps, then goes silent. Complete silence. 30,000 people holding their breath. Is Ruth hurt? Is this serious? The umpire rushes over. Yankees manager Miller Huggins runs out of the dugout. Ruth's teammates start toward the plate, but Ruth waves them off, shakes his head. He is okay, just needs a moment. He stays on one knee for several seconds, breathing, controlling the pain. Then slowly he stands, picks up his bat, dusts himself off. The umpire looks at him. You sure you are okay? Ruth nods. I am fine. The umpire turns to Zachary. That was intentional. Zachary holds up his hands. No, sir. Ball just slipped. Lost my grip. But the smirk on his face tells a different story. The umpire does not buy it. But without proof, he cannot eject Zachary. He just warns him again. One more inside pitch, and you are gone. Zachary nods. Yes, sir. Ruth takes first base, slowly. Each breath hurts. His ribs are bruised, maybe cracked. He cannot tell, but he can feel the pain with every movement, and he can see Zachary on the mound. Zachary is talking to his catcher, smiling, pleased with himself. Mission accomplished. He hit Ruth, hurt him, maybe scared him off, maybe took away his aggressiveness, maybe protected his record. Ruth stands on first base, watching Zachary, saying nothing, but memorizing this moment, the pain in his ribs, the smirk on Zachary's face, the intentional attack disguised as a mistake. Ruth is not angry. Anger is hot, unfocused. What Ruth feels is cold, calculated, determined. Zachary wanted to send a message. Message received. Now Ruth will send one back. The inning ends. Ruth walks to dugout. Teammates gather. You okay, babe? That looked bad. Ruth sits carefully, favoring left side. I am fine, just bruised. Lou Gehrig sits next to him. That was intentional. Everyone saw it. Ruth nods. I know. You gonna complain? Ruth shakes his head. No. Why not? He could have broken your ribs. Ruth looks at Gehrig. Then other players. Talking does not accomplish anything. Zachary wants me rattled. If I complain, I give him what he wants. So, what are you going to do? Ruth stands, tests his ribs, winces but hides it. I am going to hit a home run off him, next at bat, and it will be number 60. The dugout goes quiet, not hoping, not trying, going to, certainty, promise, prophecy. The 7th inning passes, no Ruth at bat. The 8th arrives, Yankees batting, first 2 batters make outs, then Ruth's turn. This might be last chance, final opportunity. Ruth versus Zachary. One more time. Ruth grabs his bat, walks to plate. Crowd noise builds, louder, louder. By the time Ruth reaches the box, it is deafening. 30,000 screaming, stomping, clapping, willing Ruth to do the impossible. Zachary on mound, waiting. He has the ball, he is in control, or thinks so. Ruth steps in, does not look at Zachary, does not acknowledge him. Just sets feet, grips bat, ready. Zachary winds up, first pitch, curveball outside, ball 1. Ruth does not swing, just watches, patient. Zachary gets the ball back, winds up again. Second pitch, fastball, down the middle, strike 1, good pitch. Ruth fouled it off. The count is 1-1. Zachary is being careful, not giving Ruth anything to drive, but also not afraid, not backing down. Third pitch, another curveball, low. Ruth lays off, ball 2, count 2-1. Hitters count, advantage Ruth. Zachary knows he has to throw a strike, cannot fall behind 3-1. has to challenge Ruth. Fourth pitch coming. Zachary winds up, throws, fastball, belt high, inside part of the plate, exactly where Ruth was waiting. Ruth swings. Before we continue with what happened on that swing, do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button if you are on the edge of your seat. Drop a like if you love revenge stories. Now, here is what we want to know. Drop a comment. Where are you watching from? And have you ever gotten revenge on someone who doubted you? How did it feel? Let us know. The sound is different. Everyone knows immediately. The crack of the bat, louder, sharper, cleaner, perfect contact. The ball launches off Ruth's bat like a cannon, rising, climbing. Line drive that keeps going up, 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 toward right field. The right fielder does not move, just turns, watches. No point running. This ball is gone, way gone. Sails over the fence, over the stands, out of the stadium. People in the street hear it land, bouncing, rolling, disappearing into New York afternoon. Home run, number 60, history. The stadium explodes. 30,000 lose their minds, screaming, jumping, hugging strangers, throwing hats. This is it. This is the moment. Babe Ruth just hit his 60th home run, a number nobody thought possible, a record that will stand for decades. And he did it off Tom Zachary, the pitcher who said it would not happen, the pitcher who threw at his ribs, the pitcher who smiled about it. Ruth drops bat, starts his trot, slow, steady, savoring every step. Rounding first, he glances at the mound. Zachary standing there, frozen, staring where the ball left, face blank, shocked, disbelieving. Ruth does not say anything, does not gesture, does not gloat, just keeps running. Second, third, home, teammates waiting at plate, mobbing him, pounding his back. Injured ribs scream in pain, but Ruth does not care, does not show it, just smiles, accepts congratulations, makes his way through crowd to dugout. The fans are still on their feet, still screaming. They want Ruth to come back out, acknowledge them. Ruth steps out of the dugout, tips his cap. The noise somehow gets louder, impossible, but true. Ruth waves, then retreats back into the dugout, sits down, his work is done, 60 home runs, the season is complete, and Tom Zachary will forever be the answer to a trivia question. Who gave up Babe Ruth's 60th home run? An honor Zachary did not want. A legacy he cannot escape. The game continues. Zachary stays in, finishes the inning, but he is shaken, distracted. The next batter gets a hit, then another. Washington's manager comes to the mound, takes the ball. Zachary is done. He walks to the dugout, head down, knowing what just happened, knowing what he just became. The game ends. Yankees win 4-2, but nobody cares about the final score. Nobody will remember who won or lost. They will only remember one thing. Babe Ruth, 60 home runs. After the game, reporters flood the clubhouse, surround Ruth. How does it feel? What were you thinking? Did you know it was gone? Ruth answers patiently, humbly. It feels great. I was just trying to hit the ball hard. I knew when I hit it. The sound told me. Then one reporter asks, "Did you see Zachary's interview yesterday, where he said you could not hit a home run off him?" Ruth pauses. "I saw it. Did that motivate you?" Ruth smiles. Small, knowing. Every pitcher thinks they can get me out. That is their job. Talk is cheap. Results matter. The result today is 60 home runs. Another reporter pushes. Zachary also threw at you in the 6th. Hit you in the ribs. Did you hit that home run as revenge? Ruth's smile fades, more serious. I do not think about revenge when batting. I think about hitting the ball. That is all. But you have to admit another reporter says hitting 60 off the pitcher who said you could not. Off the pitcher who threw at you. That has to feel good. Ruth looks around, at reporters waiting for a quote, waiting for him to trash Zachary, to gloat. But Ruth does not give them that. Zachary is a good pitcher. He tried to get me out. I tried to hit. Today I succeeded. Tomorrow is a new day. The reporters disappointed. They wanted drama. Babe Ruth destroying Zachary with words. But Ruth is too smart, too professional. He lets the home run speak for itself, and it speaks volumes. The next day, newspapers across America run the story. Ruth hits 60th home run, makes history. But better reporters tell the fuller story about Zachary's challenge, about the beanball, about the revenge. One New York paper, Zachary said Ruth could not hit him. Ruth answered with history. Tom Zachary never fully recovers. He pitches 7 more years. Decent career. But everywhere fans know him for one thing, the pitcher who gave up Ruth's 60th. The pitcher who said it would not happen. In interviews later, reporters always ask, "What do you remember about that home run?" "I remember everything. The pitch was a fastball, belt high. I thought it was good. Ruth hit it better." Do you regret the interview? Saying Ruth could not hit you? Of course I regret it, but I was confident. I believed in my ability. I was wrong. What about hitting him 2 innings before? Was that intentional? The ball slipped. It was not intentional, but nobody believes him. The smirk, the pattern. It was intentional. Everyone knows. And Zachary knows, everyone knows. Looking back, the story is about more than a number. It is about confidence, backing up words with actions. Revenge served cold. Tom Zachary made 3 mistakes. First, he challenged Babe Ruth publicly, gave Ruth motivation. Second, he threw at Ruth, hit him in the ribs, tried to intimidate. Instead, it focused Ruth, made him dangerous. Third, he underestimated Ruth's ability to respond, thought words and pain would be enough. He was wrong. Ruth did not respond with anger, did not complain, did not talk trash. He waited for his pitch, and when it came, he did not miss. 1 swing, perfect contact, 60 home runs, history made, revenge complete. The lesson is clear. Never challenge greatness. Never give the best bulletin board material. Never throw at someone and expect them to back down. Because if you do, you might end up like Tom Zachary, forever remembered not for what you did well, but for the moment you challenged the wrong person and paid the price. Babe Ruth hit 714 home runs in his career, 60 in 1927. Each one has a story, but number 60 is special, not because of the number, because of the context, the challenge, the beanball, the revenge, the perfect answer to a pitcher who thought he could stop history. Tom Zachary thought he was good enough. He was wrong, and that wrongness defined his legacy. Forever. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 moment, that is all it takes to become part of history. Zachary wanted to be remembered as the pitcher who stopped Ruth. Instead, he is remembered as the pitcher who could not, the pitcher who talked too much, the pitcher who threw at Ruth and paid for it. And Babe Ruth? Ruth is remembered as the man who hit 60 home runs, the man who made the impossible possible, the man who answered challenges with results, the man who turned pain into triumph, the man who never backed down. That is the difference. One talked about what he would do, the other did it. And when the story is told decades later, only one is the hero. The other is just a footnote, a warning, a lesson. Do not challenge Babe Ruth, because he will make you regret it forever.